Welcome to Hard Tea with Patch and BP. May contain adult content.
Hey everybody!
Sorry.
Wow, she's on it. She's on it, and she's in her chef whites.
I tell you why. Okay, because as everybody knows, I've got a side business. Before we get into our diet segment, I've got a business on a little hustle on the side where I do cakes, and it is exploding because COVID has reared its ugly head here in Sydney like no one's business. 239 cases and 88 in the community. Fuck it. And we're doing diets because guess what? The amazing episode we did last week, we didn't record.
Oh, I got very drunk and I forgot to record, didn't I?
It's okay. You know what? We're even now.
So we basically had a dress rehearsal. So this one's going to go so much better, isn't it?
And we, you know what? I did that once and you did it once and now we're even.
We're even. We've both done it. Anyway, so let's get straight into it. So we're talking about diets, right? We're going to get into diets and we're going to get into, I suppose we'll have to start with, when were we at our fattest?
Oh, so, okay. Go. Do you want me to start? Okay, my fattest was, besides when I was a kid. No, actually wasn't really.
If you were fat as a kid, we
I wasn't actually a fat kid. I just had a big butt. But my was after I was pregnant, and while I was pregnant, because I had a very tiny child, but I was just gluttonous, going, eating for two, and I would have.
Oh, come on, you do.
Oh yeah, I know.
And you can. And you want to.
And in the last, I'd say 2 months of my pregnancy, I just ate hot chips and milkshakes every day at 9 a.m. I would dip them in there because it's salty sweet. Oh, so great. And I'd go down to the cafe and the guy would have it ready for me every other day. He'd do chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. And I'd be like, see ya.
Oh, you must have been an Oompa Loompa. You must have been huge.
So I started at 57 kilos when I was pregnant. Okay. And then I got up to 87 kilos and my child was only 2.96. So, hey, baby, porker chopper. That was me.
Oh, God.
But you just had two gigantic Michelin children. They were the size of toddlers.
Well, yeah. Well, she was 11 pound for the first one.
Good Lord. How many kilos is that? Something.
5 something. She was huge. She wasn't. She come out like a sumo wrestler, all the rolls of fat. Very healthy, very long, very healthy baby, very big. Yeah, she was massive. She was, yes.
Massive child.
Yeah, so yes, that was my fattest because
what'd you weigh?
I can't remember. I was about 13 stone because that's how you measure things in England. I didn't do kilos till I got here. So I've got no idea.
Stone. I got to figure that out.
It was massive. But I mean, I know as soon as I had her, I lost a whole stone, which was like 5 kilos, boom, straight away.
That's because you lost her. You're like,
I lost a baby, yeah. But I didn't lose any weight after her. I wasn't trying, but I got pregnant 3-4 months, whatever, 3 months later because Leo was born 15 months after her. So I had no chance. So yes, I was a big fatty, fat. And, like some women, you say from the back, oh, you don't even look pregnant. Me, I did. I was like this.
I did too. And then you turned around and it looked like I was a small country. I'm like, hey, what's that? Yeah. It's like I swallowed a beach ball. Yes.
But I have to say about I don't know, while we were doing roller derby, I was very active, but I was eating a lot of cheesecake. I was having a piece of baked cheesecake.
This was your cheesecake episode. I remember this. Right.
And I got up to 77 kilos. And to be fair, I'm not far from that now, to be honest. But I don't look as bad as I did then. Because there's some pictures of us at roller derby, and my God, I am huge. I look awful, like a mountain. So, yeah.
I don't remember you being that heavy, though. But I do remember you eating a lot of cheesecake. I don't remember you being heavy like that.
I was. And I'm now, I've put it all back on again with COVID, all the eating and drinking. I'm back there. I'm back there.
I know.
I'm not quite that big, but anyway.
Patchy, I'm feeling you, man. I know exactly how you feel.
I know. So we're all locked down. We're all getting fat. We all locked down. We're not so much, but we have in the last year, we've been eating and drinking a lot. So
yep.
Let's talk about what have you done in the past? Fads. Have you done any? Have you done any diets? I've only done dieting once. So
let me just get out my list.
You've got to go to all of them.
let me just go through.
Did you get into all of them? Did you oh my God, I've heard of this new diet called Atkins.
So I did a juice cleanse, and juice cleanses are great because it cleans you all out.
But do you not get smelly breath and
No, you
smelly
don't.
fats and all that?
No, not at all, because it's a balance of like 80-20 between vegetables and fruit, or you can do it
It's a lot of fiber,
90-10.
though. That's what I'm
It
saying.
is a
Do you
lot.
not
I know.
feel like
No, you don't. But the only thing I found was my teeth would get really furry because it felt like, because you're drinking just juice, I felt like I had really, really furry teeth. So I was like, sitting at my desk and I'm like,
I think about like cabbage diet. You've never had a cabbage diet. We just have juice.
That would make you fart.
Those people, their breath stinks. They stink.
Because cabbage is a cruciferous vegetable, and
I know,
but gas.
Is it worth it? If you don't lose a ton of weight after that, is it frigging worth it?
Okay, so I didn't really do it for the weight loss factor. That was just a benefit, right? That was a secondary thing. I did that as a health thing. So juice cleanse. Did it more than once too, and really liked it. What else have I done? I've done a paleo diet, which is very similar to the caveman diet. I've done keto. Keto is fantastic.
Yeah,
it's hard to sustain it.
It is.
It is, and I tell you what, it's all about what works for you. Okay. If somebody turns around and says, "Oh my God, keto diet's the best," sorry, it doesn't work for me. I'm a vegetarian. Sorry, it doesn't work for me. I'm a vegan. Sorry, it doesn't work for me. Or you're this or you're that. It's whatever works for you.
That's right.
I even did the eat by your blood type diet, and that did sweet FA, except put on weight.
I've even heard of half of these diets. I don't know what you're bloody on about, me.
I know. Like I said, got out the list.
I know.
You just go through it.
Well, no, the only one I've ever done is I've done a low carb diet. I did a low carb, as in I cut out, all the carbs. I cut out potatoes. I've got hair in my eye. I cut out all the potatoes and rice and pasta and anything white. So like yogurt and cheese. And I cut out all of that. And I was just having protein, veg and fruit, and that was it, and salad and stuff like that. And but the only sugar I was getting was in my tea, and it was raw sugar in my tea, and I can't give up my tea, not for anybody. I'm not doing that. So it wasn't complete. And I lost 10 kilos in 11 weeks. But I was exercising a lot because I was doing it for Derby. We had a competition coming up.
Yeah, we did. We had Erd.
Yeah, we had Erd coming up, and I was just desperate to lose weight. But not only that, but get fit. And I was fit as. And it's 4 years on now, and I'm just back to where I was, big fat cow.
And this is, you're not a fat cow. And this is the thing. It's like, you need to stop. You need to find what is going to be sustainable for yourself. And low carb is great. Okay. It doesn't mean you have to cut out all carbs. I don't want to cut out potatoes. I like potatoes.
I love potatoes. We've Tatties, our potato shop. We cannot promote low keto diet. We cannot promote that.
If somebody tells me, sorry, you can't eat potatoes again, I will slash my wrist. If somebody says you can't have pasta or rice, I'm fine with that. Okay.
Let's move on. So listen, let's talk about what have we learned then? We've talked about as fads and stuff. So what have you learned from dieting? What would you say about dieting?
Okay. So
a child or somebody who wants to diet, what have we learned?
No. I would tell them, look,
don't do it. I would say
don't do it, because diets are not sustainable. And actually, what is a diet? Is it a diet? What you normally eat is your diet.
That's a diet. That's right.
That is
your
a diet.
diet is what you eat. But I think what we're talking about is if there's a goal, you've got to fit into this dress, your wedding day. Because I had a goal. I lost all that weight and I got really fit, did the thing, and within 6 months I'd put it all back on because I just it's not sustainable. And I found pizza again. I found pizza and I found alcohol again, and boom, just put. Okay. And do you know what? I am a bit of a porker. I look at myself and I go, oh, but you know what? Sod it. I'm drinking. I'm happy. Who gives a shit? That's what it should be, right?
Okay, that's it. And if you get to a stage where I have to use a crane to get your ass out of the house, we need to have a conversation. There's going to be an intervention.
You know what? I'm one of them, right? I'm sure I've fat shamed. I'm sure I've poked fun. I'm sure I have. I'm not going to say that I haven't. I'm sure I have. But I do. When I see somebody who is, let's say, rotund as a nice word, right? Walking the streets, and they're in their athletic, their sports,
and they're doing it.
And they've got earphones in. I always think that's inspiring to me. I hope nobody takes piss out of her, because that is hard for her to do. They're trying. I know because it's hard for me to do anything, and I am not that big. And I always think,
I'm not either. And we talk about it. We think we are, but you're right.
You're right. And I've said to my kids and all, don't worry about your weight and stuff. My boy got a bit podgy. He's getting taller now. So he's thinned out because he's stretching that way. So he's thinned out. But I've always said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I've said, when you see a fat, they are fat. They're fat. I'm sure they'll say they're fat. They're fat. They are, you've got to look at them. And if they're sat eating and that, you've got to think, but we've talked about it. There's some mental issues with eating and we all have them. Mm-hmm. But I've told my kids, when you see people who are big and they're doing something, you don't take the piss out of them. What you tell them is they're doing a great job and they're inspirational. Exactly. Because if they can do it and it's frigging hard for them,
anybody can do it. As far as if somebody came to me and said, look, I want to do a diet, I'd say, well, don't. I said, what are you eating right now? Let's look at what you're eating right now. Okay, we know it maybe shouldn't be eating a bag of hot chips every single day because that's not going to help you. Yeah. That's a sometimes food. Right. And maybe cut back on eating an entire box of Krispy Kreme donuts because that is a sometimes food.
And for me and my kids, it's cans of pop. It's like cut that shit out or get some
I don't
zero
drink
sugar.
that. I don't drink hardly any of that.
Our kids love it.
Mine doesn't. Mine doesn't like it because he doesn't like anything busy like that. He doesn't.
Well, let me tell you what I tell my kids, especially my boy. I tell him what you should do, right? So this is just schematics of it. So you put calories into your body, you have to burn them off. And if you put in 200 and you burn off 200, then you remain the same weight you did that morning. That's how you do it. If you want to lose weight, you reduce your calories and your exercise goes up. So if you put more calories into you and you do less exercise, you're going to get fat. So it's very clear. So for me, everybody should eat and drink whatever you want. Fuck it and don't care about it. So long as you do enough calorie burning exercise that it burns it off. Get your 10,000 steps a day and do a 10-minute workout. That will plateau you out. You will never put weight on. Great diet. So I think the takeaway from here is fuck your diet. As in, your diet is your diet. Eat what you want, but do enough exercise to counter it out and just enjoy life.
And just enjoy life.
As Ed Sheeran says, there's more to life than fitting in your jeans. Fuck it. Have fun. These skinny supermodels, they're all miserable. You can see it in their bloody faces. They're miserable.
Can I just tell you you know what? It's funny because I've met a lot of models in my life and I'm not kidding you. Some of the shit they do to lose weight. There's this one girl, I met her years ago when I was working in the States in a restaurant. And she would tell me when she would go over to Europe that it has been known for girls to drink a small vial of the Ganges River. Do you know what the Ganges is like?
Yeah, it's full of, it gives you diarrhea. It makes you ill. It's poisoning.
Correct.
Oh my God.
I'm drinking the dead. It's delicious.
Oh my God.
Yep. But a small bit of it because it would get
it would make you throw up
dysentery
and puke and not want to drink, not want to eat for days.
Exactly. Besides all the drugs they
vile.
Do, I know, but that's what they do. That's what they would do in order to get the clothes to hang and look waffle-thin.
No, you know what? They're not happy. They're not happy, and they're brushing with death. I couldn't give a shit.
But you know what? They're changing that because there are more Rubenesque models out there.
Yes,
full-size women on the runway, and I'm glad.
I am, because in the average size 14, 12 or 14, isn't it? The average size.
So size 6 is not the average anymore.
Size 6 is it probably was in the 60s when everybody was on drugs, LSD and shit, and nobody ate because they were fucking off the tits. But that's not the case now, especially with COVID.
80s and stuff,
average size in the COVID is 20.
All the models are like, average size for a woman, 30. Sweet, I'm in. I'm on the runway. You know what I mean? But that's it. But it's like full-size models are like on the runway now. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you for showing a real woman.
Some of the supermodels are getting shorter because they're not all tall. Yay! Real women are not tall. Real women are not 5'8".
Yay, good. I've got hope.
Yes. And they should represent real women who want to buy bloody clothes, because there are some famous people out there with money and they're 4 foot something. So they need to be catered for. But
exactly,
anyway, we're going off topic again.
I know, sorry.
Anyway, so yes, thank you for joining us. Let's say
thank you.
You've got cakes to make.
I've got cakes to make. I do. I got to check on them.
And just a reminder that we are a podcast now. So you can find us on Spotify,
here we go.
Google
Another
Podcasts,
platform.
and Apple Podcasts.
We're there. We are on everything. Next week's topic?
Week it's kids. So that's next. The next series is kids. So we're going to talk about kids. We're going to talk about how much we love them, No,
Why?
we're not going to talk about. We're going to talk about why.
We're going to talk about why. Why we decided.
The expense of them. The expense of them.
The do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the do's and don'ts. It's if, why
You've
did
got
you
them.
want to
You've got
over
them.
why did you not to? Yeah.
So I think the goal is to put you off having them because you can live it through us and decide.
You can live vicariously through us and go, that's a no, thanks. I'm out.
But we will talk about us as kids as well. So, because we were angels. We were angels, weren't we?
That was awkward.
No. Okay. All right. Well, cheers. Subscribe, like, share, go on our podcast, do all that things. And
subscribe.
We'll be here for kids.
Kids. There's 3 episodes on kids.
And they're shit. As in the kids are shit, not the episodes.
Yeah, that too. But anyways, see you later.
See ya.